and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackenzie and this is Sorority Recruitment 101, the only channel dedicated to answering the questions you may have about what it's like to be in a sorority in college and what it's like to go through sorority recruitment at a big university. In one of my recent videos, I talked to you guys about my experience re-rushing at the University of Alabama, and a lot of you had questions about what it was like for me to go back to the sorority that I dropped my freshman year. A lot of you want to know if they were nice and welcoming or if they were rude and made me uncomfortable. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you all the details of exactly what happened that day during recruitment. Before I jump right into the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're interested in learning tips and tricks about how to stand out during sorority recruitment, or if you're interested in hearing more stories about my experience being in a sorority at the University of Alabama. Also, I really want to do a Q&A video for you guys because I know you all have a lot of questions about sorority recruitment or some rumors you've heard that you want clarified. So any questions you have, make sure you comment them down below so I can answer them in my future Q&A video. All right, you guys, let's go right back to the first day of recruitment my sophomore year. Like I said in my previous video, I wasn't as nervous this year to be going through recruitment just because I knew exactly what to expect. The only thing I was nervous about was having to go back into the house I dropped my freshman year. Now, at Alabama, during the first round of recruitment, you go to every single house on campus. This meant that I was going to have to go back to the sorority that I dropped my freshman year. Now, I wasn't the only one in my pledge class that dropped the sorority freshman year. There were actually 27 of us that dropped. But I was one of the only ones who was rushing for a second time. So they knew that I had already gone through recruitment before and that I was a member of their sorority for a portion of my freshman year. This made me really nervous just because my decision to drop had nothing to do with the girls individually or the chapter itself. I just didn't feel like it was the right fit for me and I didn't feel at home there. I really had nothing against them and I think they're a great chapter. It just was not the right fit for me. But anyway, let's get right into the day. So it's the first round of recruitment. We line up outside of the house and my heart is racing. I didn't know what it was going to be like. Were they going to be welcoming? Were they going to give me the cold shoulder? I had no idea what I was getting myself into and I had no idea who I would be speaking to during this party. Now, actually, before I dropped, we had big little reveal. So I had a big and I had a twin. I also had my friend Caroline, who was still in the chapter and was there for recruitment, and I did have a few friends that I still spoke to. I was praying that one of these girls would pick me up when I walked in just because I didn't want this to be uncomfortable and I really just wanted to get through the party. The doors open and I start hearing the door song that I remember all too well, and we start filing into the house one by one. I remember my heart beating faster and faster as I got closer and closer to the door. At Alabama, you stand by yourself in the door and then they let you in. I knew they would all be staring at me and I was so nervous. It was my turn to walk into the house and I was scouting out the tunnel to see if I could see any of my friends, and sadly I did not see any of them. All of a sudden someone grabs me and I have no idea who it is. They bring me into one of the rooms and I'm actually facing the door frame so I could see the entryway of the house. I start talking with this girl and she knows me, but I have no idea who she is. And that's nothing against her. Our pledge classes are huge at Alabama, and I didn't really know that many people in my pledge class anyway. But she started talking to me about my old pledge class and about the sorority and asking me if I remembered people, and I wasn't sure how to respond. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be talking about the fact that I was in this sorority before, if it was okay to do that, or if I shouldn't be talking about it at all. Normally you talk to more than one girl at the party, so I was really looking for any of my friends to come and save me and sit with me so we could just chat about our summer and about recruitment and about what we were looking forward to this year. When I would look up to see if any of my friends were around, I didn't end up seeing them, but what I did see happening really made me upset, made me uncomfortable, and made me feel so unwelcome in that house. Like I said before, I was sitting in a seat where I was facing the door frame. Instead of seeing my friends when I looked up, what I saw was members poking their heads in the door frame, looking at me, pointing, whispering, and talking about me. I could not believe that they would do this right in front of my face. I knew they would talk. Everyone talks. I get that. And I knew they were upset that I dropped, but honestly, I didn't have that many friends in that chapter, so I don't understand why it was that big of a deal. I could not believe how petty they were being, if I may say that, just because I was not the only girl that dropped out of our pledge class. Like I said, there were 27 other girls that dropped. I couldn't wait to get out of the house. I felt so uncomfortable. All I wanted to do was see one of my friends and talk to them the whole time. That way we both felt comfortable and it was a chill 10-minute party and I didn't have to worry about anything. It almost felt like they went out of their way to make me uncomfortable and make me feel unwanted in their house. Anyway, it was my time to leave the house, thank God, and I got to see some of my friends on the way out, so that kind of got the bad taste out of my mouth and I got to wave to them, which was really nice. I was so happy that I didn't have to go back there again because obviously they weren't going to ask me back to their house. So I was excited to get the party over with and finally be done with that chapter for the rest of my life. Now let me just explain the difference between them and my chapter I joined sophomore year. In my sophomore year sorority, we had people in our pledge class drop as well. And it's okay because sometimes it's just not the right fit for someone. It's nothing to do with the girls and it's nothing to do with the house. Sometimes they just don't really feel at home and that's okay. So the following year when I was in-house for recruitment, what we did for the girls coming through who were in our house and decided to re-rush was we would pair them up with either their roommate or one of their best friends in our house. We went out of our way to make them feel comfortable because it is an awkward situation. It totally can be. I wish they would have done this for me in my freshman year house just because I would hope that no one ever has to experience what I did going back into that house my sophomore year. And seeing how my sophomore year sorority went out of their way to make the people that dropped feel comfortable in their house and welcome really just showed me that I made the right decision in dropping my first sorority and re-rushing. If you're a sophomore who dropped her sorority freshman year and is re-rushing, it's okay to be nervous. And you probably won't have the bad experience that I had. A lot of sororities don't go out of their way to be rude and make you feel unwelcome. Most of them will do whatever they have to do to make you feel welcome and comfortable in their home. But if you're nervous, just think about it. You only have to get through one party. That's it. And hopefully they'll pair you up with one of your friends so that way you don't have any pressure on you and you guys can just chat and have a good time. All right, you guys, so that's my experience going back to the house I dropped my freshman year when I re-rushed my sophomore year at the University of Alabama. It wasn't the best experience, I'll admit, but it did just make me more grateful that I decided to drop that sorority and re-rush my sophomore year. Everything happens for a reason and you do always end up where you're supposed to be. As always, make sure you subscribe down below and click that notification bell so you never miss a new video and comment down below what you want me to talk about next. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next video.